This is Death or Prison, brought to you by leanonmeusa.org. The men you are about to hear have spent more than 50 years in prison. We bring you stories of hope and encouragement.
Hello and welcome to the Death or Prison podcast brought to you by leanonmeusa.org. I am Johnny Branham, and to my right, Mr. Elmo Golden. To my left, our distinguished guest, the Senior Director of Education and Programs for the GEO Group, Miss Angela Geisinger. How are you doing today, ma'am?
I'm great. Thank you so much for inviting me to join you today. Super excited.
We are as well. We want to go into your background and how you got started.
Well, I am originally from Georgia. I have a bachelor's of business from Valdosta State University. Go Blazers. My graduate school is through Troy University. I have a master's of education and foundation of education. And oddly enough, I just kind of divine intervention or whatever you want to call it, stumbled across corrections. Absolutely fell in love with it. I believe when I accepted my first position as a substance abuse counselor in Georgia, I thought it was kind of a stepping stone to a new career or whatever. But my very first day, I just fell in love with the ability that every day you could go home knowing that you absolutely made a difference that day.
And that's pretty much how you got started in justice, is kind of stumbled upon it.
I did 25 years ago. College graduate, really didn't know what I wanted to do. Prisons are always hiring. And so I had a good friend that worked at a facility and I took a chance.
Mm. And so how did you get led to GEO Group, being the senior director?
I actually accepted a position at Graceville Correctional Rehabilitation Facility around 10 or 12 years ago with the GEO Group. I worked as a substance abuse counselor for GEO as well. Core Civics actually was awarded the contract. And for Core Civics, I worked as senior classification officer and then the training manager for the facility. So I actually trained the staff. And then the next thing you know, GEO came back. And I think that's when the doors really opened. GEO offered me the director of education for Graceville. I accepted, absolutely fell in love with it. And then next thing you know, I was promoted to the national director of academic and vocational programs for the GEO Group. 2 years after that, senior director of education and programs for the GEO Group. So I have the honor of overseeing everything that happens pre-release for an individual that is involved in the criminal justice system.
And that entails what?
Wow. So recreation, general library, law library, academics, vocational, behavioral programming, case management, substance abuse treatment, faith and character services, and any activity or program that serves as betterment. I always say we do everything but clear count.
When you say you absolutely fell in love with the work that you're doing, do you feel like that you were made for it? Do you feel like this is what you were designed to do?
I do. I do. I'll be honest. When I was a child, I did not say when I grow up I want to go to prison. But I do believe that God called me to play a part. I do believe that I was designed for this. I'm a creative person. I'm outgoing and I'm all over the place. So correctional facilities allow you to create magic out of madness. And there are so many individuals that are so talented and just overflowing with potential that don't know that. And so it has just been a blessing in my life to be able to give my light to someone else. So like I said, on day one, I realized that there's not a day that you don't go home knowing that you can make a difference in someone's lives. And I don't know a lot of positions that allow you to do that.
We're sitting here with Elmo, of course, and you. This meeting didn't happen today. I guess I'll speak with Elmo and ask him, how did that meeting between you and Miss Geisinger happen?
I'm glad you asked that question. I met Angela 2 years before I came home, probably about 3 years because I was incarcerated at one of the GEO Group's facilities, South Bay. She came around and she was doing a tour with some, I guess, important people about the programs that were taking place. I was in the CDL class at the particular time. And as you guys know and you heard something say, "Wah, wah, 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 wah." And I heard the squeaky voice, and it just, I was like, who is this lady walking around with these people showcasing and highlighting some of the programs that were in Geo. I kind of faded away from her then, and I went on to do other programs, and I saw her again. This time it was in a conference room where she brought in, I believe, some senators and some other important people, football players, to talk about the programs that were taking place with the GEO Group. The beautiful thing about it is that we were invited. They gave us the opportunity to sit at the table and speak on behalf of the education department and how it was prevalent to our release. So from then on, it was every time they came in, I was actually invited to sit at the table with them, which is I found refreshing, because over the course of my time of incarceration, that had never happened.
Now that's Elmo's version. I want to hear yours.
It's pretty much the same. How Elmo got to the table was a little different. He actually approached me in the hallway one day, and he said, "Are you the lady from corporate?" And I said, "I am." And he said, "I just wanted to tell you thank you." And so he thanked me for the GEO Group bringing a program that he felt was, really important to his rehabilitation. And he told me the whole story from start to finish, and about his calculator and his books and how he tested. And he just had such a heart filled with joy and gratitude. And I said, "This is the person that the world needs to see." And so from then on, Elmo and I have been, we've just been a pair.
I think 3 days after I was released, I was inside of this corporate building, and which was another opportunity, because now I had an opportunity to meet the people that she worked with, and I get to see the work going on and how the programs will be being thought about and prepared, and what really went into it. And she was transparent about the work that she was doing, and I also want to just really tell her thank you again, because after I came here that first time, it changed my mind totally. It Because I thought that, of course, that when you got a big corporate conglomerate building like this, that uh, as guys that are incarcerated, we only think that they want to make money off of us, but we never go in and look at that there are people in the building, and that these people have families, and these people have our vested interest in hand, that they are actually determining what kind of person is released, an educated person, a well-mannered person, a respectable person. And so that's what I'm really thankful for, because they invested in us.
Speaking of family, you're a mom,
I
two
am.
boys.
2 boys, 15 and 16 years old. Love of my life, my just absolute joy in this world. I'm super proud to be their mom, although they tell me daily that I embarrass them. But yeah.
And you're wearing an Ashland University sweatshirt today.
Yes, and real quick, I want to say hello to all of my Ashland Eagles out there in all of the facilities across the country. Super proud of you. Keep going, doing what you're doing. I'll also want to announce that GEO Group is super excited to say that by spring of 2023, we will have an Ashland campus in every single GEO facility across the country.
To the listeners, tell them a little bit about what Ashland University is and how they impact the lives of the people
Sure.
at GEO Group.
So I am an educator, true blue, and it was always my goal to create a full continuum for students. I've always wanted everyone that released from our facilities to not just release with a GED or, a vocational trade, but to release as a lifelong learner. So a couple of years ago, we partnered with Ashland University to offer fully funded college degrees at no cost to the students or their families. And we started out with 2 sites, and like I said, every year we continue to add. And by the end of 2023, spring of 2023, we hope to have an Ashland University branch campus in every facility.
What types of degrees can some of the men and the women come out of Ashland University with?
There are so many, and I apologize that I cannot give you the entire list, but there's a slew of marketing and business degrees. There's counseling, theology, just anything and everything. I challenge and encourage each of your listeners or viewers to go to ashland.edu and check out their programs. Absolutely amazing and super proud to partner with them.
That's fantastic. I know that I've never experienced being at a geo prison. I wish I had have, gone through one, because that's an aspiration of a lot of men and women. They
Yes.
want to get their degrees. They want to further their education. And there's just, prior to, something like this, there's really been no opportunity. So I commend you all for bringing that to the forefront. That is going to bless a lot of men and women. If you could talk about some of the highlights to your job and your career, some of the things that are most rewarding, as you can say, working with the men and women, what would you say?
For me, I think it's always been that moment that the light bulb turns on. Um, I will be honest, throughout my career, I've experienced the most joy dealing with students and clients that others considered the bad apples. And most of the time there was a learning disability there, or there was some trauma in their past. So just to be that person that has been a part of their journey, I'm so blessed by it. And I have said at 1,000 graduations, and throughout my career in corrections, that every great story begins with a sentence. Sometimes that's a prison sentence. So it's
Mm.
just been a blessing for me to know that I was a part of their story, just a chapter in their lives. And I think a lot of times, within the criminal justice system, for whatever reason, and I do believe in educational trauma. I believe there are things that happen when you were in third grade, sixth grade, where you don't want to go to the board and do a math problem, or you don't want to read out loud. So, one of my proudest moments with the GEO group, and I'm so thankful to our chairman, Dr. Zoli, because he allowed me to create what I've always wanted to create, and those were adult learning labs. Adults learn different. I learn different. We're goal oriented. We want to have our hands into it. We want to know that it means something and that it's going to somehow benefit us. We don't learn by lecture-based instruction. Think of Charlie Brown's teacher, wah, wah, wah. He allowed me to create these adult learning labs with smart boards and computers, and everything is driven by the student. Our instructors meet with the student and develop an individualized education plan with that person. What is important to you? How do you learn? What do you need? What's your goal? How can I help you get there? So that's been amazing for me to take, the dreams that I had the first day I walked into a facility, and now to be able to walk through, as Elmo referred to, through my facilities and see that we're really making it happen.
There was a program, I think it started maybe 3 or 4 years ago, called Continuum of Care. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So, continuum of care is evidence based. It's enhanced offender rehabilitation to include cognitive behavioral treatment integrated with post release support services. And basically, what that means is from the time an individual arrives at a facility, when they get off the bus, we're there to greet them and say, "Welcome to whatever facility. Now, where do you want to go?" And we help them get there. So it's a battery of assessments to see what roadblocks and challenges they have upon reentry, what they need. Do they need a high school diploma? Do they need a college degree? Do they need career and technical services? Is employment and problem? Is there a history of substance abuse, trauma? And then throughout their time, we work on those roadblocks to ensure that upon release, they have the tools needed. We have transition case managers in every facility. They meet with the individual twice a month or more if you need more. And at 90 days, we do the warm handoff to our post release support call center here at the corporate office. And we have case managers. Some of our case managers were also incarcerated at one point in time. But we have a variety of individuals within that post-release call center that take the time to make sure that upon release, the individual is comfortable, they know that they can be successful, and we continue for the rest of their time. I mean, Elmo, you completed the program in 2019, 18?
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Gosh, I thought it was before that.
No,
But
I've only been home 25 months.
that's insane. I feel like I've known you a decade. But you
He
know,
has that effect, though.
if you pick up the phone, we answer. It doesn't matter, if you complete the program or not. We're always going to be there for you, no matter.
I know that when I went through the continuum care program, I never looked at my caseworker that while I was inside as a classification officer. I
No.
always look at someone that had experience and was mentoring me and preparing me for whatever challenges I may face when I got out. I think the best thing that happened to me when I came home is that the GEO group kept their word. So I got the bicycle. I got put in a transitional home. They like she said about the phone calls. I had phone calls. Some kind of way a red flag went up that I was having some issues, and all of a sudden I get a call from a psychiatrist. I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for anybody to investigate my thoughts, but the GEO group paid for it, and this counseling group they would call me every week and check on me. So even the caseworker that they have inside of the building, inside the corporate office, they were saying, okay, let's get him some more help, even if I didn't even request it. The other thing I like to say is my counselor and also the people at GEO Group knew that I had never seen my dad before. The GEO Group helped me find my father, and that's something I want to just really have the opportunity now to tell you guys thank you. I think the best thing that the GEO Group the people that are involved in the GEO Group facilities, the guys that are residents there, the best thing they can do is get involved in programs.
Is there anything that you can say to those men and women listening that is something that needs to be said to them? You got an audience of, from what I understand, a couple million listening.
Great to know. Um, yeah, I would just beg each and every one of you. I know there are days that you think um, there's just nothing going for you, and if you believe that, then maybe so. But you can change that. Success is a choice. It can start any day that you want it to start. So today, tomorrow, go tell your case manager, go stop a staff member, write your request, request a program. If there is a program or a class that you're interested in that the GEO Group does not offer or any facility, let them know what class and program to bring. I know in GEO facilities, if you let us know, we will build it. We will make it happen. But enroll in something, do something with your time. The best thing that you can ever do is to learn and grow as a person. You don't have to exactly like where you are, but you can definitely change who you are, and do it today.
What would you say to the men and women out there who may be interested in volunteering or just don't know about volunteering for this type of effort?
Great question. The GEO Group, we are always, always looking for someone to join our learning community. And I know that our participants and residents, they want knowledge. They want to learn new things. They want to see new people. So if you are a subject matter expert, If there is something that you're really great at, we invite you to come and share your skill, your knowledge with these individuals. If you have a passion for faith or music or arts, whatever it may be, please shoot me an email, give us a call. We will definitely get you into the facility. It's really important that we all play a part. Individuals, Elmo, Johnny that I sit here with today, at one point in time, they were wearing a certain shade of blue that made them outcasts from the world. And it's people like myself and everyone in the community that can change that outlook. And we need volunteers, we need community support. We need the world to open not only their doors, but their hearts, their minds, and come and be a part of the pre release community so we can prepare them for the post release community.
I know that one of the signs, it said Geo Group, and then it says changing behavior and changing
Changing
lives.
lives.
And what better way to change behaviors through education, through programming? And she's right about them investing in the programs that you desire to take. I wanted to take water treatment. It was not offered at the facility. I made my request known. They did buy the books. They bought the calculators. They gave us room to educate ourselves. I took the test at another facility and I passed. So now I have a certification as a wastewater treatment operator. If I decide to go into that field, it was just a sense of accomplishment. The looking at a degree that said the University of Sacramento, and then we talk about again aftercare. When I came home, I still had a connection with the Geo Group. Aftercare is very important. So I didn't just get a chance. I had a fair chance. It's a difference. Chance is just I'm gonna do as much as I can, but a fair chance is I'm gonna do everything I can. And so when we find people, not the building, the corporation, but we find people inside of those buildings that are willing to give us a fair chance, these are the times for us to take advantage of them. And that's what we want to encourage our listeners to do today.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Ms. Geisinger, and sharing all of that information. It is definitely a wealth of information. The men and the women really need it, and we appreciate it. You've been listening to the Death or Prison podcast, brought to you by leanonmeusa.org. I am Johnny Branham. To my right, Mr. Elmo Golden. To my left, Ms. Geisinger with the Geo Group. This has been the Death or Prison podcast, but we say choose life.
I can change the world. Feed one, teach one boy and girl. Maybe we can change the world. I've been running all my life. All I've found's been sorrow and strife, wondering if there'd be a better day. I know I made some wrong turns, and late at night the tears they burn, and it hurts more than I can say. So I turn to the pills for the answer, and in a bottle I only found insanity. What I needed all along was a savior to set me free. Please set me free. Even now I'm hearing his call, the one who picks me up when I fall, and the Lord knows that I need you. The prison walls that held me in, it's hard to even find a friend, and I'm tired of the way I've been living, you know it's true. So I turned to the pills for the answer, and in a bottle I only found insanity. What I needed all along was a savior to set me free. Please set me free. I'm gonna make a decision now. Accepting Christ is what it's about, and I reckon the time is at hand. So dear Lord, please walk with me through all my life and eternity, and help me, Lord, to make a stand. And that's what it means to be a man. And I turned away from the pills for the answer, and the liquor that drove me insane. I called upon the grace of my Savior. His mercy and His love fall down like rain. If you've been running all your lives, and all you found's been sorrow and strife, well, let me tell you, brothers, there's a better way.